Welcome back to Boerne Radio, Home and Ranch Show. I'm James Duerr, your Texas realtor selling luxury homes and Texas ranches all over Texas, all over the Hill Country, and especially here in Boerne, Texas.
The Boerne Radio Home and Ranch Show is sponsored by Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Whether buying a home or selling one, our network agents are good to know. The Bevy Hotel. Make yourself at home. Platinum Wealth Solutions. Effective strategies for your ideal tomorrow. Pilgrim Mortgage. Helping you find the perfect home. And by Brand Builders Digital Media Agency. Social media marketing to grow your business.
I have with me today Christina O'Connor.
Good morning. How are you, James?
Fine, Christina. And you are with Pilgrim Mortgage.
Yes, sir.
And we just had this amazing story about custom homes with Travis S. White. And Travis, he builds custom homes within an hour of Boerne area, and he does these beautiful homes, but you can't build a home without a construction loan.
Truth.
And a construction loan is really critical, but let's go back, and I want to thank you first for being the sponsor of Boerne Radio.
Happy to do so.
And I want to thank Carlos Camarillo at Platinum Wealth Solutions. I want to thank Brand Builders, our professional video. Everything we do, not only radio, but we put it on YouTube, we put it on podcasts, and it's because of Brand Builders and this professional quality that they do. We really appreciate their services. And I can't forget the realtors at Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, they are some of the best, most professional realtors you can get in the Hill Country. So please go to BoerneRadio.com, click on the program tab, and you can find all of our sponsors and you can find all of our podcasts there at BoerneRadio.com. So, Christina, tell me a little bit about construction loans, and tell me, how much experience do you have in construction loans?
I've done construction financing for about 15 years.
Wow.
That was a main focus of my business for about 10 years of that. So I've worked with numerous home builders, both on the custom side as well as more of a tract type builder that's building multiple homes within one neighborhood. So it is a different animal, especially depending on what type of new construction you're doing.
Okay, so it's not the same as just a regular home financing?
No, not necessarily. So if you're going into a neighborhood in which that's more of a tract type neighborhood, you may have 7 to 10 different floor plans to choose from, maybe 3 or 4 different elevations, which is how the house will look from the street, for example. But the builder's building a lot in that neighborhood. That type of financing can be very similar to you buying a resale home.
Right.
Because in those cases, the builder typically is going to do the construction loan or the interim financing themselves. Okay, they're building a whole bunch of houses at the same time. They want control of the money. It allows them to move much more quickly. There's builders that will throw a house up in 60 days, believe it or not. Most of the builders that I work with were a different quality or cost level, and it would take a longer period of time than that. Yeah. But even so, I ran a mortgage company for a builder that was building $1 million homes, and they still handled the construction financing themselves, and then the buyer would do their loan at the end. Now, how that works, though, is the buyer still has to qualify at the beginning. So when I get referred a client that's going to build a new construction home from you, for example, I'm going to qualify them to purchase that home when it's complete. So I'm going to do an application. I'm going to gather income and asset documentation just the same way as if they were purchasing a resale home. I'm going to underwrite the file and know that they're approved to buy the house. And I'm going to issue what's called a commitment letter to the builder.
Right.
Basically stating that under these terms, when this house is complete, I am committed to giving this buyer a loan unless they do something stupid to mess up their approval. Okay. And that's part of the guidance of working with a really good loan officer, is preparing your client to ensure they're not going to buy a car in the middle of constructing a home. That is not the time to buy a car, for example. Let's not buy the appliances for the home until the house is complete if the builder's not throwing those in, for example. So all of those things that become drastically important. I'll give you an example. When we bought our resale home, I wanted a brand new fancy couch. I had lived with my parents' couch for a long. No, I'm just kidding. So I went to Star Furniture and I ordered a couch,
Right.
and it was taking 7 months to get the couch in. The pillows were coming from this country and the couch was coming from this country. And I told them I wanted to take advantage of their 2 years no interest because I like using other people's money, truthfully.
There you go.
A month before the couch arrived, it shipped. Okay. So as soon as it shipped, Star Furniture, not to poo-poo Star Furniture, but they immediately activated that account, that 2-year interest-free account on that sofa. And my response to that was, what if I decided I needed to pay cash? What if I was in the middle of building a home and let's say my couch and all my furniture that I had ordered cost $30,000? That additional debt could compromise somebody's approval on their home.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
And
so you got to be prepared for
And
all
I have to
that.
tell you, Christina O'Connor, you answer your phone. And it's important. It's this type of situation comes up, and does somebody pay cash? Do they finance? They need to be able to talk to them. They can't wait days to hear from their lender.
No.
And you have 15 years of construction loan experience.
Yes.
And I can tell you for a fact that that is not the easiest type of loan to get.
Well, so that's one scenario, right? If you're building in a tract type neighborhood and the builder's doing the construction loan themselves. What if you're building a custom?
Right,
Right.
like
What
the
if you're
Travis White home.
Exactly. Maybe you bought the lot 3 years ago and you've been paying on it, and now it's time for you to actually go in and build that dream home of yours. That's a completely different process.
Right.
You can do a one-time closed construction loan. You can do a two-time closed construction loan. A one-time closed construction loan is you actually closing on basically your permanent loan at the beginning. You need to know what the sales price of that home really is going to be. You really need to have a really, really, really good idea of what your upgrades are going to be on the house so that you know the all-in total price, because it's very hard to increase your loan amount on a one-time close,
Okay.
right? You're
Right.
qualifying one time at the very beginning to build the house. Right? So
Okay.
one approval process, one set of income and asset documentation. We're closing basically on that loan at the beginning. And then when the house is done, during the construction period, you're going to make interest-only payments based on the amount of money that has been drawn off of that construction loan.
Right.
So now I could get really deep into the woods and explain, your first draw is going to go to pay off the outstanding balance on the lot. Okay, they're not going to let you leave the lot loan outstanding during the construction of the house. So the first draw pays off the lot. The second draw will build the slab, for example. So you'll have a different draw schedule throughout the build process. And as the house is being completed, you'll make interest-only payments based on the amount that's already been drawn.
But then the builder will get paid.
Builder-
So it has to be very timely. It has to be a mortgage company like Pilgrim Mortgage that's on top of it, because you're making these series of payments, correct, to the custom builder during this construction loan. And if you don't, if there's a delay like 4 or 5 days, that may not be good. I don't know what is the typical for your business, but
They do try to get the builders paid as quickly as
quick as
possible.
possible. And then that
Yes.
keeps a happy builder. It
Yes.
keeps good relationships, and that's why you don't mess around when you're looking for the builder. If
Gotta
you're looking for the
keep
construction company.
contractors paid.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's where sometimes smaller builders struggle
Mm-hmm.
because they aren't feeding the contractor another 60 homes that year. Are
And-
you following me? So
yeah.
it becomes critically important to make sure that the builder gets paid so that you don't put a builder
Critical.
out of business,
Exactly.
truthfully.
Yeah, you're right. And that would be a problem.
Yes.
That would be a problem for your home. So, Christina, for people who want a construction loan, how do they contact you?
You can reach me directly on my mobile at 414-7534. You, of course, can find a link to the O'Connor team website for Pilgrim Mortgage on BoerneRadio.com. And my website's o'connormortgage.com.
And it's very easy to find. You just type in O'Connor Mortgage.
With
and
an
then it comes
O-R.
with the O-R's, 3 O's.
O-R, yes.
And we'd like to thank you for being here today. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
I mentioned one-time closes. There's also two-time closes, which is basically you qualifying twice. You're going to do the construction loan, and then when the house is complete, you're going to refinance that construction loan into your permanent loan.
And that's why you need a 15-year veteran of construction loans, Christina O'Connor of Pilgrim Mortgage, the Bevy Hotel. I mean, you can't get this. This is a fabulous location.
I'm warm.
And yes, and that's the
Makes me happy.
We're all
a big thing.
Yeah, that is a big thing right now. So, Christina, I really appreciate you being here. And I know people are going to have lots more questions about construction loans. They can go to BoerneRadio.com, press on the program tab, and they can contact you there. And this is Boerne Radio, Home and Ranch Show.